So this is the Acer Predator Triton 500 SE. These names are getting a bit too long for laptops. Either call it the Predator or the Triton. You don't need to have both in the name. But overall, name aside, this is hands down my favorite gaming laptop from Acer. Like, look at this thing. You know, this design is beautiful. You have this metal lid. You have two different textures on the back. The bottom being this kind of like sliced crisscross effect, which feels nice and smooth. And then at the top, you have this brushed kind of rougher texture to it. And then it has like these gray and blue and purple elements that shine off the laptop. It keeps the gaming vibe, but it's not too gamerish. You still have this like productivity focused look that goes along with it. And I think that's very special. Now ports are plenty. On the left-hand side, you have your power connector, which is a 230 watt brick if you're buying the 3060 model. You have a Ethernet port, USB, Thunderbolt 4, which can also charge the laptop up to 100 watts. So if you forget your power brick at home, you can still keep this thing charged. Headphone jack. And then on the right-hand side, you have a full-size HDMI, another Thunderbolt 4 port, USB, and a full-size SD card slot. So in my opinion, based on the way this looks, this makes it a great product for gamers, but also content creators. Now it's a bit heavier compared to the competition. Like if you were to take the Zephyrus M16, like that laptop is 4.1 pounds. This is a bit heavier at 5.2, and you definitely feel it when you pick it up. Now the keyboard does have a shorter travel distance compared to other gaming laptops, but I found typing on it to be very comfortable. There is a nice little key press when it bottoms out, and overall I have no complaints in terms of gaming on this keyboard. The touchpad is a decent size, it's pretty big. It is made out of glass, it's using Windows Precision drivers, and overall it's a fantastic experience. Now the fingerprint scanner is baked into the touchpad. This is an older way of doing it. Most laptop companies with newer laptops are starting to embed them into the power button or using it somewhere separate on the keyboard, but it is using Windows Hello. So if you want to quickly log in using your finger, you can do that with the fingerprint scanner. Sticker placement, I have a feeling Lenovo and Acer are sharing the same sticker guide because this is out of control. You know, it's like they go to a rave every day and then they come in drunk and then they just put stickers on their laptops. Like these guys get paid millions of dollars to put stickers on laptops. I just wish they took their job a bit more seriously. Now this display, this is the highlight of this laptop. It is a gorgeous QHD IPS display, and it's 2560 by 1600, which means it's 16 by 10. So not only do you get the benefit of having a bigger vertical display, it's just fantastic for productivity work. And considering a lot of games can be played at 16 by 10, you just get the best of both worlds. Now this is a matte display, so you're not gonna get any of those crazy reflections. The color accuracy and color gamut is really good, but most importantly, the screen brightness is insane. Over 600 nits of brightness, which is bonkers. And if that's not enough for you, Acer is also selling a mini LED version of this on their 3070 or 3080 models, which by the way, also comes with G-Sync. There's a 720p webcam at the top of the display, considering that the bezels are pretty thin. I'm glad they were still able to cram one on top. Again, not the best webcam, very typical of most gaming laptops, but it's there if you need it for gaming or having a conference call. Now, my review unit comes with an i7-11800H with 16 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 3060 that can go up to 105 watts, but you can also buy this with a 3070 or 3080. The screen, 16 inches, it's QHD, it's 16 by 10, 165 hertz, and it's IPS. It also has a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD, and it retails for $1750 US. Now here's the thing. When it comes to multi-core performance, this is one of the fastest, or if not the fastest, 11800H processor I've tested in a laptop so far. When it comes to single core speeds, it's more in line. It's still the fastest, or one of the fastest single core speeds I've tested, but the i9 definitely beats this guy. But here's the thing, if you're gaming at 1920 by 1200, this beats out the Legion Slim 7 and the Zephyrus M16 in terms of gaming performance, and usually by a lot. The only area that it completely ties those laptops is when it comes to QHD gaming. This is also a fantastic laptop for content creation. And if you're running Adobe Premiere Pro or any of the apps in the Adobe suite, you're gonna get fantastic results. But here's the thing, and this is probably my only complaint about this laptop, is that it does get hot. Okay, like when this thing is on turbo mode, the CPU sits at 100 degrees and it gets hot. Funnily enough, the keyboard still sits around 48 to 49 degrees Celsius, which is the average for a gaming laptop when it's under load. But yes, it does get hot on turbo mode. But if that bothers you, and I'd rather them do this because you can push this thing to its full potential, but if it bothers you, you can just change the profile. If you want it to be a little bit cooler, you can put it on extreme, then the temperatures are gonna hover around 90 to 95 degrees. Now, fan noise is really loud on this laptop, and this goes for all of Acer's gaming laptops, and it's because they included turbo mode. They're like, you know what? You want the coolest gaming laptop? Here's a turbo mode. We're gonna blast the fans as loud as we can, and that's why it's there. And if you want more of an audible or enjoyable experience, again, you just switch the profile, and then you'll get lower fan noise. Now, getting inside is super easy, but if you want to upgrade, it's going to require a bit more work. The RAM modules are on the other side of the motherboard, but you can upgrade them. Like, they can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes of RAM. Now, this is using Kingston memory, and I feel like the reason why the speeds were so much better with this laptop at 1920 by 1200 over the Zephyrus M16 is probably, I'm not 100% sure, but probably because this is using Rank 8 modules. If you do want to upgrade the Wi-Fi card, that is accessible, and you do have a massive 99 watt-hour battery, which only got me about 4 hours and 30 minutes. They advertise 9.5 hours, but on quiet mode or battery saving mode, I could only get 4 hours and 30 minutes. Now, the NVMe SSD inside of here is super fast, like Gen 4 speeds. In fact, the write speeds were faster than the read speeds, which is something I haven't seen before. So here's the thing. If you're looking for this specific SKU with the 3060, it's a Best Buy exclusive, and I'll place a link to it in the description down below. But honestly, I feel like this is Acer's best gaming laptop right now. It has its own unique look, which has that gaming and productivity vibe. Tons of ports with that SD card slot for content creators. You can get this with a mini LED display, which is something that I personally can't wait to test out. But yes, it's not perfect. I would have loved a better battery life, and I feel like that's something they could have solved by just incorporating a mux switch. I would have loved it to be a bit lighter, but then you'd probably have less thermal headroom. And upgrading this might be a bit of a pain since you have to flip the motherboard, but at least you have access to both DIMMs. That's my review of the Acer Predator Triton 500 SE. If there's any more questions about it, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.